New Beginning in Hiroshima, night 2. We just did night 1 yesterday. If you haven't checked that out, please go check that out. It's in the channel finally, thanks to the YouTube shenanigans, which they've been on some shenanigans lately. We're the almighty SOS Wrestling Network. I'm your boy Stardust Yaku, joined with my good homie across the pond, LK. How you doing today, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing absolutely splendid if we don't take into consideration yesterday's bullshit. Like, we went several hours without realizing, did a live stream. Obviously, we did the live video yesterday, and thank you everyone who checked that out. But YouTube just wouldn't process. I think YouTube hates us, man. I generally got this gut feeling that YouTube absolutely despises us. So, yeah, thank you everyone who did watch. And we just got to keep moving forward, because that was just so tragic, man. That was honestly, that's one of the gut feeling when I saw SOS Just Talk censor DM. I'm like, I was praying it was either going to be a copyright strike, or B, it was going to be an issue of the video. And I was like, for fuck's sake, we just can't catch a break with YouTube. Fucking assholes.
Right? YouTube has it out for us, so YouTube, whoever it may be, you know what? It is what it is. We still love you, baby. It's okay, man. Hopefully at one point you can love us back at some point. But no, LK. Oh, we actually had a pretty nice attendance here on night 2. We had an attendance of 2,007. So we had 2,000 people in the building, in the show, ready to get all this wrestling action in. And the first match that these people were able to take in, my good friend, was trios match. We had Gabriel Kidd, Yuri Yamura, Yota Tsuji taking on the Suzuki Gun trio of Doki, Zack Sabre Jr., and Taichi right here. And we talked about this the previous show, which I was thinking about the preview we did from night 2. New Japan in 1972 needs to get their fucking schedule in order, or however the fuck they're doing, because the matches that we review, I was like, wait, they're supposed to be matching up against Girls of Destiny or Dangerous Tekkers, but then they switched the whole, I forgot they switched the card because Never Trios match. So I was like, they didn't even update the card. So not only is it YouTube screwing us, we got New Japan 1972 screwing us with the card. We can't even get an official card from the official website. Okay, like what? I mean, come on, help us out.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's I'm beyond kind of going to there. Like when it comes to me, I don't go to NJPW 1972. I actually get a cage match. I think cagematch.net, and no affiliation there at all, just I think they do a better job of updating the fucking match cards than the company themselves. I always find that very comical. Never go there. Always go cage match. Type in cage match NJPW, click events, and it's all listed on there. That's what I always use. I always have. I've always put them over. No affiliation at all. Don't even have a fucking membership there or whatever the fuck they do. I just think that when it comes to watching, if you're like, I don't know if I should jump into New Japan, if you go on there, you can see the cards going forwards, you can see the cards backwards, you can see where we are. I think Cage Match is a great way to view these cards.
I'm gonna have to start getting back on Cage Match. It's been a really long time since I've been on Cage Match, and I gotta reinvigorate that Cage Match, because apparently they're putting on the actual cards more than New Japan 1972 is. So
yeah, because at the end of the day, there's going to be someone there, whose quote job is to make sure the cards are right. And I think New Japan in 1972 isn't exactly going to have thousands of members of staff editing every day. You know what I mean? So it's kind of best to go there.
That's fair. That's extremely fair. And we get Suzuki going, or Dangerous Tekkers more specifically, and Doki getting a little bit of momentum back here. We get that team picking up the victory. We got Zack Sabre Jr. actually tapping out Gabriel Kidd to the stylist lock. And Gabriel Kidd and Zack Sabre Jr. had some really nice exchanges in this match, okay? And it's funny because Gabriel Kidd, he is a young lion, but he actually was not a young lion before. He actually just went to, did the young lion program. So it's just like, he kind of like showed his hand in a bad way. He just showed what he can really do if you take the young lion, I guess, training wheels off of him. So I enjoyed that. Oh,
mate, I absolutely loved the exchanges between Zack Sabre Jr. and Gabriel Kidd. I want to see that one-on-one, generally on one of the Road 2 shows, or involved in a tag match of some kind, whatever they're going to do. But I really, really dug it. I absolutely really dug it. And if that's the type of intensity you're going to get from Gabriel Kidd, oh, it's great. And I loved at the end when, Yota Tsuji as well was getting involved with, punching him, telling him to back off. I thought that was a great opener. That's one of my favourite Young Lions matches I've watched in a way while.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. And I'm with you. I was saying yesterday I'd be for a Yuri Yamura Minoru Suzuki match. If you want the matchup Gabriel Kidd against Zack Sabre Jr., sign me up, because I would be intrigued to see what these two guys can do in the ring with each other together. And I think they could do some good stuff here, because they had some really, really good stuff here as well. Yeah, it was this show, at least with the bulk of the undercard. LK, you can probably agree with me on this. It's pretty much getting the guys who took the L yesterday. They're kind of getting some momentum back for the most part. That's what I think we're getting on the undercard of this card tonight.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. 100%. But the undercard was solid, and it felt quick as well.
What?
It was really super quick. It was like to the point where when intermission came, I was like, "Fuck, we're like barely an hour into the show, and we're already intermission. Is this going to be a quick one?" But no, they thought they did a good job.
No, I thought they did too. And speaking of a good job, we got our next match of the show, match number 2. We have trios match, Master Wato, Sho, and Tamaki Homa taking on the Suzuki Gun team of Minoru Suzuki, El Desperado, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru here. So Master Wato got the victory over Kanemaru in about 8 minutes with a La Carretera, I think it sounds pronounced. And to me, they were not much the story of this match. In my honest opinion, which is I can't even really believe I'm saying this, is coming off a tour to where this man tried as well as he could to get a singles match with Tetsuya Naito. He was not able to. He was bested at every turn was Tamaki Homa. This man was like, you know what? I didn't get my singles match with Naito, but damn it, I'm going to try to provoke Minoru Suzuki as best as I could, okay? Because he definitely did that here in this match. And I actually was liking the stuff that he and Honma were doing. It was weird.
Did you prefer Suzuki and Honma or Naito and Honma when they've been going for exchanges?
It's probably instantaneously Suzuki Honma, just because I just know it's going to be that much more ratcheted up. I know I just know how Suzuki is.
Okay, that's fair. I just want a bit of advice, for fucking Honma. Just leave these people alone. Know your place, boy. Oh man, he's getting there every fucking show. He's taking, he's getting fucking beaten and battered and bruised. Going up against, fighting these top guys. I think it could be quite a comical story if, every tour this in theory could be part of the Road to Castle Attack. If, on the build it's Honma, wanting a match against Suzuki, and I did like at the start when Honma's like, no, I'm gonna start, I want him, and he's punching him, and he's trying to punch him, and Suzuki's there just pissing himself, like out loud laughing, which I just thought was absolutely brilliant. So if we get to see more of that on the Road to show, more power to him. I did enjoy
That's
it.
actually a good shout, LK.
Oh, go on.
I wouldn't mind Honma throwing himself at these guys that he knows he's like, they're out of his league. I would not mind that at all. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, imagine him next going after... Who could he go after? He could go after Tanahashi next. He could do Okada. He could do...
Shit, do Evil.
Evil.
Okay, let's do Evil.
Yep, do Evil. He could do everyone. That could be his kind of role, and it's kind of... It's given Suzuki, it makes Suzuki look good because he's, beaten someone. So you're kind of establishing him. But no, it's crazy how the story of this kind of Road to tour, we've done every New Japan show that's took place in February this month so far, reviewed them all, and every single show has had Honma on, and every single show he's been getting fucked up, but he still keeps on fucking going. It's absolutely great. Absolutely hilarious.
Absolutely. And credit to him, because he's when he gets knocked down, but he get up again. You ain't gonna never keep him down, I guess. Shout out to Chumbawamba, 1997, I think. Damn, man, we got another trios match. Okay, New Japan's been just serving us a nice full helping of trios matches lately. So, but this time we get a new mixture because it's not what we have from the previous New Beginning show. It's more of not a continuation of a feud. It's pretty much the launching of a new feud, New Beginning. What do you know? We have Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito, Veloso Ingobernables de Japón, taking on El Phantasmo, Taiji Ishimori, and Yuji Takahashi of Bullet Club. And of course, we spoke about the post-match, happenings of the junior heavyweight title match, how that feud's off to the races. So they're immediately pairing these guys up. So I like that as well. I thought that was pretty good. And Bullet Club right now, LK, is kind of a topic of conversation in pro wrestling if you've seen AEW Dynamite or any of that stuff, because yeah, it's kind of crazy right now what's going on. And I didn't ever think we would even be to this point with all the stuff that's happening, but we are here. So we got some Bullet Club members, and honestly, this match was less about... It's crazy because what happens later on tonight, this match kind of was not about Naito to me. This match was more highlighting the Bushi taking on Phantasmo, or Bushi and Hiromu taking on Taiji Ishimori and Phantasmo. It was more about highlighting these guys. So, yeah, that is what it is. But Naito was actually the one to put Yujiro Takahashi away with the Destino right here. It was LIJ's probably one of the best multi-man match groups in the business, so of course you're going to get a solid match right here. And it had like some new mixtures with El Phantasmo never really mixing it up with LIJ before. So we had some interesting mixes between these two teams. Naito pins his former tag team partner, and what will he do later in the show, LK? I guess we got to wait to find out.
Yeah, so it makes sense now why they had him pin Yujiro, because obviously, what they're building up to at Castle Attack will be the Hiromu defending against El Phantasmo, and then Phantasmo and Ishimori against Hiromu and Bushi, which is great, which I'm looking forward to, because then there's two great title matches over. Because Castle Attack's another double, isn't it? It's another night 1 and night 2 type of event, which I'm guessing is going to be their new format during this pandemic era. As kind of the big shows are going to be 2 nights, so expect Dominion to kind of be a 2-night show. But no, it was a good solid match. I enjoyed Naito and Yujiro. Obviously, they're former tag champs from back in the day, so it's kind of cool seeing them where they are now in their career, kind of go at it, which is probably fun for them, both of them. But no, it was just solid, and it gave Naito a win, which, considering later on in the night, as you just touched on, it makes perfect sense.
Absolutely. Next match is not a 6-man tag team match. It's actually a standard tag team match. We had the Chaos team of Toru Yano and the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada taking on the Bullet Club team of the Spoiler Dick Togo and the King of Darkness Evil right here. So New Japan maybe channeling a little bit of his friends from the West, maybe a little bit of Monday Night Raw here during the ongoing storyline that we know that's going on between Kazuchika Okada and Evil. So Rainmaker, we know, has been desperate to get this singles match. Which is crazy here, we get a count out early into this match, LK, at about minute 27 seconds.
I was about to lose my shit. I was about to go on, because I didn't watch the show live, so I stayed off Twitter and didn't live tweet, because I just didn't want any spoilers. So I just didn't go on any social media at all. I literally woke up and I put the show on. But the show had already finished, because I stayed up late last night and then I got up early. But I got up late, sorry. But fucking, I literally was going to open up Twitter, risk finding spoilers, because the double count out bullshit pissed me the fuck off so much. I wanted to rant and vent about it, but thank fuck I didn't, because like you said, they pulled a Vince's booking. That's why he took down the show yesterday. It's I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if it was great because the crowd popped, but at the same time, it's like, couldn't you have just fucking announced Okada versus Evil, and the build up could have been the same? Okada trying to get Evil, and Evil's like, no, you gotta wait. It could have been the same type build. So I don't understand why they didn't just fucking announce Okada versus Evil for the show.
I can see what you mean by that from that vantage point. Okay, I guess it's kind of maybe the traditional things, how New Japan has traditionally done things. I guess I ultimately kind of liked it because it was, far, stray from the norm, what they usually do with stuff like this. And I guess I liked it too because, one, the crowd got it gave the crowd a nice reaction, like, oh, they weren't expecting this. I think it's always fun for the crowd when they get something they weren't expecting like that. And then two, the singles match that we get, that match didn't last long either. So it was ultimately it. I think that match ended in disqualification.
That's a fair point. So, to be fair, if it was just announced as Okada and Evil, it didn't go long, and it had kind of had a DQ finish, we would be on here being pissed off. So I think they did it in a way to protect the match, and in reality, it kind of, I think it done its job, because coming on here on the Road to New Beginning shows and the New Beginning preview that we did, I wasn't very excited for this to kind of feud. I was kind of like, it is what it is. But I'm actually quite pumped for an Okada Evil match, because when they went at it, it was really intense, and Okada was mega into it. It was really good stuff.
No, agreed, man. And I think it gave the crowd that little bit too, to where it's like, all right, man, now we're really digging this now. I'm not saying the crowd or even people watching in the Western world like we are, we're like, oh, we're not really into this, because it was kind of like, I wasn't saying I wasn't into it, but it was kind of like, whenever you have the singles match, I'll watch it. I'm sure it'd be a good match, but this kind of ramped it up for me. I'm not going to lie, because Evil won in the double count out. I love the fact, one, of course, what we know now, if it would have stood like that, it'd have been a shitty finish, but I do love the fact in the double count out to where Evil, he is literally holding Okada, like nah, I don't care if I win, but you ain't winning either type stuff. So I thought that was kind of funny in a way. And then with the disqualification finish with Dick Togo coming in choking Okada with the Guerrero about 4 minutes in, it just adds that heat. It gives Evil that heat right here, man. And whenever they have a singles match, which we're presuming is at Castle Attack now, I think that's probably going to get announced because they start doing Road 2 shows as soon as tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? It's either tomorrow or Saturday. It's one of the two. I think I want to say Saturday. It's probably Saturday. So they start doing Road 2 shows as soon as Saturday, and they're getting that feud off to the races. And I'm a little bit more intrigued for that Okada Evil match right now. And to be honest, LK, that match is a toss-up. It's not a formality that Okada beats Evil right now, because you can almost argue Evil probably needs this a little more. If Okada gets this, he's probably right back in the title picture, to be 100% honest. If he beats Evil, you're back in the title, but you just beat a former champ. But if Evil beats Okada, he's right back in the title picture too, and it adds a little bit more momentum that he needs, because after taking that L to Sanada in the Tokyo Dome. So, I mean, we'll talk about Castle Attack when that comes, but I'm intrigued with it. I'm intrigued about
it. The issue I have with this, I still wouldn't say issue, but what happens though if, say at Castle Attack, Okada beats Evil, Evil beats Okada, it's New Japan Cup next. So they're not going to get a title shot. So it's kind of like momentum heading into the New Japan Cup more than a traditional special singles match where the winner does become number one contender.
This is where I think pro wrestling should learn from sports right here. Maybe like a Bellator MMA or a playoff format, to where if that happens, like you got a guy like Okada, say Okada does beat Evil, they should really do seedings in tournaments. I know that's kind of like weird to have in pro wrestling.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Because then guess what? Every match on Road 2 will matter. Every single one. This road to fucking Castle Attack will be important, because it's like guys are going to be, as WWE would say, just fucking, well, you know what I mean, hustling for position, so that they can kind of, pick up momentum, so that, they get higher ranked. And yeah, I think that's great. Kind of announcing early on who's going to be in the tournament, and then kind of do preview matches and 8-man tags, and then announce at the end of the show he's had this much wins, he's had this much losses, so he'll be seeded number one. And then you could have, a guy, and then when you get to the final, you're going to be down left with like number one versus number two, and it's going to, if they announce it as, the number one seed versus the number 16 seed, you now think, as a casual, New Japan watcher or a casual sports fan, wait a minute, number 16 versus number one for the New Japan Cup. Oh fuck me! I've got to check this out. Is this guy number 16? What happens if he does it? And then when he wins, it means that much more. I think that is a magnificent idea. I'm fully on board with that. Doing the seeded system, that is such a great shout. I'm surprised they haven't done that.
Especially in a tournament setting, LK, because let's just say this hypothetical, since we're talking about him here. A guy like Okada, he goes on that win streak, like you said, he'd be probably a number two seed. You know what I mean? And number one, number two, I would think a guy that would probably, let's just say they have a 16-man brackets at this point, or we'll just say 8. I think an 8th seed, or at least the lowest ranked seed, 8 or 16, would probably be like a guy like a Honma. You know what I mean? It would be like because he probably is not winning a lot of and he takes into account, not only do you get, does your team lose, because they'll probably be in like some multi-man matches, but do you take the pinfall as well? You know what I mean? So if you're taking
absolutely. You lose. It's like a point system. Like, obviously, you don't actually announce it as a point system, but, work it so that it's fair. And then maybe on the final Road 2, on the final Korakuen, kind of do a one-on-one match between guys who are number 1 and 2 for that number 1 spot. And then you got a big match on a Road 2 show to get some eyeballs on, which will promote the rest of the show. I think that's a fucking great idea, and I'm really surprised they haven't done that. So imagine that in the G1. Block A is from 1 to 19, as in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And then Block B can be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I think that would be fucking great. I'm really surprised they don't do that.
You know what else, LK? Because you talked about the G1. I think we might see this, and if we see this, I haven't heard this anywhere else, but if we see this, they've stolen our idea. Since we're starting this working relationship with Impact Wrestling and AEW, what it looks like, what I would like to have happen in the summer, hell, even if you want to do this for Best of the Super Junior, I'm cool too, but I think they probably saved this for G1 Climax. If you want to have in Impact Wrestling, hell, for AEW that matter, maybe like, I want to say maybe like a month and a half out, have G1 Climax play-in matches for both of those companies, and then you have a match. 2 guys on both. It's 1 match each on both company. 2 guys. So let's say, for example, Brian Cage versus Lance Archer. This, for example, one of these guys, whoever wins this, is going to be the AEW representative for G1 Climax.
Oh,
Same thing with what? Go ahead.
absolutely. Even to the point you could do a mini tournament, like on. Absolutely, they could do a special episode of Dynamite where they do a full 8-man tournament, full on, and you have the top guys. You got Kenny in there, and then if even if Kenny's not in there, if Kenny's in the final, and they can air this on NJPW World, Kenny's in the final. That's going to get eyeballs on NJPW World, and then say for example, as we touched on, Brian Cage, and Brian Cage beats Kenny. Not only does that enhance the storyline in AEW, as Cage will be then perceived as a big star, people from Japan who are going to be going to these shows in attendance will see Cage on New Japan World pin Omega and see him now as a big deal. So when he comes over, he's going to get a good reaction. People are going to take him seriously. I think that's a great idea. I think it should be, dude. What I quite frankly would like it if it was inter-promotional. You had guys from NWA, Ring of Honor, Impact, AEW, all on Dynamite, because Dynamite will help them all. Maybe not Ring of Honor because they're not really working well, but NWA and AEW have done lots of stuff. They even had a women's title match on the show, for fuck's sake. Have guys like Nick Aldis in there. Guys in Impact Wrestling and your boy Michael Hogan. I wonder what's Big Mike doing anymore. Anyway, but yeah,
I tore him down like a month ago on this podcast. I didn't hear what he said, but yeah,
he did what? Sorry.
He tore Michael Elgin down on his podcast, but he only kind of was responding what Michael Elgin said about him, because Michael Elgin came out with some stuff and was like kind of saying, oh, well, the only reason that Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa is in New Japan is because their adopted father and da-da-da-da-da, and he was talking about why he left New Japan and everything, and he said Tama Tonga played a part in why he left New Japan and all this good stuff. Then Tom was like, no, I'll tell you about everything on my podcast. It's on Twitch. I didn't see what he was saying. I heard like he got in a car accident with Matt Hardy, did Michael Elgin. And like I heard something along the lines of that, and I heard he might have been under the influence. I'm not.
Okay, yeah. We don't need to spill everyone's their poor dirt on there.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying what I heard. So don't kill the messenger here. Don't kill the messenger here. But no, companies should definitely do that. Okay, they have the opportunity to do, and even. I wish that Ring of Honor and AEW would have a better working relationship as well, because they got guys to where, hey, we could, use you or not use you. That sounds bad. We can, have you come on, give you a little spotlight or whatever.
Yes,
I don't know.
And they could simulcast it. They could air it on NJPW World as well as TNT at the same time. So you can grow. And on New Japan World, they can promote the show is also available on TNT, and then on TNT they can promote New Japan World, so both companies are going to benefit from this. I think they should definitely do. I think that's such a great shout. Imagine like you got like the Ring of Honor World Champion Rush, going in the one-on-one against Kenny Omega in a quarterfinal. Like that's going to be a match that if people enjoy, people are going to be like, Rush, Ring of Honor's still around. Oh fuck, it's on Fight TV or whatever it's on now. I'll check that out. It could be great for everyone. I totally think they should do that.
100%. Like we done had some good ideas right here. So if you hear them anywhere else,
you're on fire tonight, Dion. You're on fire. You got the seeding system, this G1 tournament. Oh
man, I don't know. Okay, man. So if we hear it anywhere else, they've been listening to us. But it is what it is. Oh man! So the next match we got, I think we're at the penultimate match right here. We at the semifinal match right here. We have for the Never Openweight 6-man trios belts. We have the champions right here: Yoshihashi, Hiroki Goto, and Tomohiro Ishii, attempting to defend these championships against the Bullet Club trio of the Guerrillas of Destiny and Switchblade himself, Jay White. So Yoshihashi, in my opinion, was the heart and soul of this match. Bullet Club wore him down for much of this match, and for the most part, on the way to this Road Beginning shows. And the story of this match would Yoshihashi be able to survive this punishment, and punishment he did take, because I don't know how many times these guys have teamed, that being the Bullet Club side, this in a regular trios match, that being the Guerrillas of Destiny and Jay White, but they're a really good fucking trios team. I was like, damn, they got good fucking chemistry, and I don't even know how many times they've teamed often like that. And credit to those three guys, they definitely had it. And man, so they had a finishing spot. It was Yoshihashi trapped Tonka Loa. I think he had him in a butterfly lock, but Geto distracted the referee, and then Jado came in with a very stiff kendo shot to break up that submission right here. So then Yoshihashi actually got the pinfall because he reversed ape shit into a Mestral cradle, and picked up the win for his team. And LK, I love instantly once Jay White saw that they had lost, he instantly went to go beat up Yoshihashi. I thought that he was just like, you motherfucker, like.
It was a brilliant match. I cannot praise this match enough. It was absolutely brilliant. They went balls to the wall for 25 minutes, and it wasn't a spot fest. It wasn't, they beat on Hashi, which again, the story is they took out Yoshihashi on one of the Road 2 shows in early February. So it makes complete sense why they'd go after him. He's the, not weak link as in star power wise, he's the weak link because they fucked him up. So it made complete sense. Then when Goto got in there, he was crazy. Ishii and Jay White, some of their sequences were fucking incredible. It made me want to see Jay White versus Ishii. And because of the Yoshihashi and Ishii, dude, I cannot wait for Yoshihashi and Tomohiro Ishii against Gorillas of Destiny. We thought it was going to be Dangerous Tekkers against Gorillas of Destiny. They may do that. But, man, I am buzzed for Ishii and Yoshihashi to go after those tag gold. Imagine we start off the year and late February, Yoshihashi wins his first proper title. Well, actually, that's not fair because never put 6 belts were important here. But, Yoshihashi becoming one half of the IWGP heavyweight tag team champions will be fucking magic. I'll be fucking... Oh, God, he can fucking take that Gandalf stick and do a fucking strip dance live in the ring because that'll be fucking magic. Come on, Yoshi. Mate, honestly, the way that Hashi is in the ring, it's kind of like he gets fucked up, crowd feels sorry for him, and then he comes back and he's really intense and he's just turned into... I don't know if he's always been this way or the crowd are more connected with him now because he's been booked a bit better. But, man, he's so good. Like, honestly, VIP so far the year, Yoshihashi.
No, facts. And also, too, LK, I like how, credit to the booking, because as I was looking at this match, I was like, I thought the Bullet Club team was going to win. I was like, damn, where do they go from here? Because I thought they were going to be the trios titles. And it's like, and I say credit to the booking team because it was so obvious where they were going to go, but it was just like, I was like, it still was brilliant. It was like, damn, that was actually brilliant because how didn't I see that they're going to have either Yoshihashi, I think he's probably going to team with Goto. I think if they go for those belts.
Yeah. So, sorry, I apologize. Yeah. It's Hashi and Goto, and then Ishii will be facing Jay White.
Yeah. So he's going to, and it's like, all right, and we didn't even see it because we were talking about, damn, we're going to have challenge for the tag team titles, and I say it's good booking because the answer was like right in our face. So credit to New Japan and the booking team or just Ghetto for that because we were wondering who's going to be next challenge for the tag belts and it was just staring right at us. So that's good and it was an excellent match.
And it's something fresh. It's fresh because Goto does fuck all singles wise. Hashi does fuck all singles wise. Why not put him in a team? I think it's great and I hope they win the belts, man. I think they deserve it. They both haven't had a IWGP any kind of title reign in a very, very long time. And the emotion that Hashi's kind of pouring into all his matches now, the guy's incredible. The guy is absolutely incredible. I can't believe people, we used to call him Hash Brown, and he's kind of gave him a hard time because he kind of didn't really do much. But he's really come into his element. Maybe he's like kind of feels a bit more kind of secure in himself. Maybe because he's in Kurikan in front of 600 people, and in here and in front of 2,000 rather than 4 or 5. So the limited crowd is kind of allowing him to kind of perfect his craft without being in a big venue with a big crowd. So whatever it is he's done, whatever he's eating in the morning, he's doing a great fucking job. Honestly, deserves a lot of praise. Him and Taichi are the most improved wrestlers of New Japan in the last year or two. Like generally 2 guys who we used to go on the show and kind of give a hard time, and now 2 guys who I can't wait to watch wrestle every single time.
Yeah, that's 100% fair, man. And I'm trying to... Everybody else is pretty much, for the most part, solid. Well, except for the, Best Bout Machine himself, Bad Luck Fale. He's always at, I don't care. I know he's a bad wrestler, but I still like him. You can like bad wrestlers, ladies and gentlemen. It's all good. As long as they don't hurt anybody, then it's all fine. They just can be a bad wrestler. So, Nia Jax. Then, okay, we're at the main event now. It's main event time, man. IWGP heavyweight and intercontinental titles on the line right here. We got the champion attempting to make his second defense. I guess he's the pro wrestling god right here. And it's kind of weird because Kota Ibushi, well, I'll talk about that more post-match, but Kota Ibushi is kind of getting drunk with power here. But we got Kota Ibushi attempting to defend the titles against the Cold Skull Sanada. And yeah, so they exchanged, even momentum for the opening 20 minutes of the match. And there was one point, okay, I thought Sanada was like, damn, he could have won this match because Kota Ibushi attempted the Kamigoye and he got countered into like that pop-up TKO deal and he hit a moonsault, but then Sanada fucked up and went for the second moonsault. I was like, you had your chance there, boy. You had your chance, man. Now I'm like, oh, no, you're not gonna do it, because I almost bought that when he with the moons. I was like, he might get this. I was like, oh fuck. I was kind of like, yep, he's not getting this right here. So Ibushi getting his knees up right there, that was a very good spot, I thought. So credit to them right there. Yeah, this was ultimately just a really solid match, man. I enjoyed this match. It had a lot of back and forth action. Both these guys were able to showcase their athletic ability, but I liked how they started this match off, LK, kind of pretty much being like a ground-based match. And speaking of it being a ground-based match, we had Zack Sabre Jr. in commentary, because at first I was like, who is this on commentary? I was like, oh, okay, that's Zack Sabre Jr. So
yeah, I don't know if you felt this as well. Did you think there's no way that, like, is Zack going to be the challenger? My initial reaction was, cool, Zack's going to challenge next, because of what they did with El Fantasma the night before.
I think that's why they put him out there to kind of bait and switch us, if that makes sense, because we're like, oh, look, they did the same shit. They might going to do the same shit again. So I think they did that with a bait and switch. So I actually thought about that right here, man. I was like, man, is Zack going to potentially challenge right here? So, man, Bushi hits 2 Kamigoyes for a close near fall. We get a jumping knee strike from Bushi towards an ending sequence, and then we get the Kamigoye to secure the victory.
But you're missing Sanada kicking out and that roll up. That fucking roll up. Oh, but I literally, like, I was watching on my laptop, set up a sofa, watching on the laptop, and like when it happened, because I had my headphones plugged in and I was quite close to it because I was really invested, so kind of leaning forward. And when he kicked out, I was literally like fist bumped, like, because like not kind of the air, and I was so close to smacking the shit out of my laptop by accident because I was like kind of jumping off my seat at the near fall. Oh, honestly, I was like, there's no way, because I'm like, it's got to be Ibushi's got to have a good title reign. But the match itself, you know, leading into this on our preview show, on our Road to coverage that we've done. We've kind of shat on the build up. You know, I think the build up was pathetic. The match itself was really good, and we said that on the preview. If the match is good, we'll say it's good. It missed that kind of build. If it just had that build, this could have been something really special, because you really would have cared. Because I felt for the first 10 minutes like, yeah, there was some good wrestling, some good stuff on the mat, etc. But it was just like, come on, let's move it a bit, boys. It's kind of like, yeah, a bit respect. It's like, I don't want to see that. I want to see, you know, kind of rivalry, which Naito's going to bring. And that'll lead us to a post-match, so you can break down what happened post-match before I jump ahead.
Absolutely. And I also love, too, the post-match to where, I don't know why, because you were just talking about respect and everything with these guys. I do like the fact that once the match was over, Kota Ibushi kind of, you know, he kind of gives Sanada the hand, you know, Sanada's, you know, coming to or whatever. And like, and I thought about when Sanada lost to Okada and how he was like crying and shit. But then I thought about right here, Sanada's just like, all right, man, I'll see you next time. It was just like 2 weird reactions. Like, I was like, Sanada, he's like, you got me. Like, it is what it is. And I was like, damn, he was crying at one time, but then now he's just like, you got me, huh?
It's how many more fucking times we've got to see this, man. It's got to be it now. So this is my prediction is this will be the last Sanada challenge for the world title. I do not see him getting another shot. I do not. I just don't see it. I can't see it. I can't see him winning. And the guy's a great wrestler. The guy is a magnificent, incredible wrestler. And if he does win the world title, great for him. But for me, watching, you know, as a fan, I struggle to invest. Like, there's only so much as the match is going to be good that you can kind of use, because after a while it's like, yeah, it's going to be a good match, but that's what I love about a Naito match and Okada matches. You fucking care who wins and loses. That's what was so great about Hiromu and Sho. It was like, they went out there, they fucking wrestled a great match, and it was kind of, you cared who won, and it felt important. It was like, it was a good wrestling match, but it was just missing that kind of next gear. Like, the finish was great, the middle part was great, the beginning just, if you could have just had some, like, the little things like yesterday when we did the night one show, they could have done is just like have Ibushi slap him, like just try and get some emotion out of him. They could have just done something like that rather than just hushing the crowd and just kind of like some Greco-Roman style mat work. It's like, you know, there's not. I hope they don't go down the route of Ibushi going on these one-on-one single matches and they're all respectful. I don't think because wrestling's predetermined. I don't think you can do lots of these respectful matches. It should be heel, babyface, get the crowd behind the babyface, so when he wins, the crowd cares.
Agreed. 100% agree. And yeah, man, I don't. Sanada's becoming maybe that Goto type guy, because Hiroki Goto is another one. If he's the challenge for the IWGP Heavyweight belt, I'm like, well, he's not winning it. I know it's going to be a good match, but he's not winning it. And I think with this match too, with maybe aside from like that roll up, okay, it's the believability factor. It's like, do we really believe Sanada's going to win this match? And I'd be hard pressed to find anybody that's like, yeah, I 100% he's going to think he's going to win this match. It's not going to always be that stigma with him. Is he until they actually pull the trigger and he wins the title? Every title match, if ever he gets one again, every title match he's going in as the underdog, because nobody's going to believe he's winning the belt.
No, that is a big problem. Whereas if on the Road to show they had him they could have done a good job of building him up and kind of like, you know what, this time it's going to be different. We would have been heading into this going, oh, you know what, they've been building Sanada up. He's been getting some wins in these tags, like definitively, not going fucking draws and then hugging and fucking after. It's like, come on, man.
Hugging and fucking, I love it. And this might be a hot take too, okay? I know maybe they want to go a different route for the New Japan Cup, but he's been ever getting so closer to winning that thing. You could have had him win that, and if he challenged Ibushi at that point, a loss to then I don't think really affects him as much, because I mean he just won a New Japan Cup and went through this, this fucking gauntlet. So it's not like he was like, oh man, he just took like all these losses. It's like, no, he won the New Japan Cup, but this came up short in the title match. I think that would like kind of soften the blow a little bit. But that's because when this Wrestle Kingdom thing happened, he immediately challenged. I was like, this is not good. He's not winning this match, and it's like, it's not saying that he can't recover from this, but man, it's
going to be tough. It's where does he go from here? Because everyone's involved in feuds. Every major star, Okada's doing stuff with Evil. You've got Naito doing stuff with Ibushi now. You got Jay White involved with Ishii. You got Guerrillas of Destiny against that. Where does he fit into this? Where does he fit into this? The question is nowhere. Maybe he'll take some time off. So sorry to say it, but I reckon he might take some time off. He might be in some like 6 and 8 man tags with LIJ. But I reckon he's going to... Maybe Honma's going to go after him. Maybe Honma's going to go after him. And then Honma can get his first W by pinning Sanada.
He sees Sanada as right for the pickings.
He was sat there. He almost licking his lips. Oh, great.
Like walking around a locker room like, who next? It's like,
Dude,
he's like, him.
If they did that on like the behind the comments, it's just like you just see like Sanada kind of just sat down like on the table that they have, just kind of looking down, look a bit glum, and you just see Honma like walking past like that would be fucking magic. That would be magic.
Rubbing his chin, like nodding up and down, yes, like okay, like. But so finally we can get to the end of this match. So I was wondering too, because we got Ibushi in the ring celebrating, and I was wondering who we're going to get to come out. And we even said this on the preview show before. We said Ibushi's next challenger should not be Tetsuya Naito. You can go back and listen to it. We both said that. And when I see Naito coming out, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing right now? And then so Naito's coming out, and he's making a challenge to Kota Ibushi. But the thing is here, he's not making the challenge to Kota Ibushi for both of the championship belts. He's making the challenge for Kota Ibushi for, I guess, the belt that's going to be linked to him forever. And at this point, I'm definitely okay with it.
See, here's the thing. Absolutely. So he's challenged for the IC title. Here's the thing. Before my mind forgets. People were not happy about that because it demolishes the meaning of the world title. I completely disagree with that point. I thought this was phenomenal booking because Naito doesn't want... It's not a fact it's the IC title over the heavyweight title. That's not what Naito was saying. Naito was saying is he doesn't want those belts unified. And to do that, he's going to take the IC title because of... He touched upon, guys like Tanahashi, Nakamura, etc. have had that, and the belt means a lot to him. So that didn't offend the world title. So people online, please stop saying, they're demolishing the meaning of the heavyweight belt. He doesn't care about that belt. It's not that. He doesn't want this belt to disappear. So he's basically, this IC title match is, Naito has to win this to keep the IC title alive. I think this is a magnificent story.
Absolutely.
Story. You know, Naito not only fighting, you know, for the IC title itself, he's fighting so it stays around. And Naito talk about, you know, like Tanahashi had this belt, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was fucking amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Great stuff. Obviously, Naito's going to win, but it's not the point. It's fucking magnificent stuff. Phenomenal booking, like you said. And it helped because when Naito came out, I bet you did. I just rolled my eyes. I was like, oh, no. But man, they pulled a rabbit out of Gado's hat because this was fucking incredible. Like, no, I do not want to hear anyone bash this online because it's a perfect storyline. It's brilliant booking, and I guarantee the build-up for Naito versus Ibushi is going to be a lot fucking better than Sanada versus Ibushi. And also, Castle Attack is a two-night event, which means he can defend the IC title on night 1 and defend the heavyweight fucker on the second night.
Absolutely, okay. And two, on the surface here, I know I'm looking at this with my, Naito colored lenses on, but him challenging for the IC title and the fact that Kota Ibushi's wanting to combine these titles into one, you can almost argue that in how I view Kota Ibushi right now, he's ultimately drunk with power. He's like damn near kind of tyrannical right now with both of these belts, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's going to be like the full-blown heel, but if you could look at this way in a kind of certain view, Naito could kind of be the hero because he's trying to save that kind of title, dude. Like, and it's so funny because on our old channel before YouTube and New Japan World fucked us, LK had a video, Naito destroying the Intercontinental Championship, just battering the hell out of that thing. How ironic is it that the man who just destroyed it is the one who's going to be to save it? That's perfect story.
Yeah, that is Picasso painting. That is brilliant. Oh, I was literally when it only said, I was like, oh, this is just great. This is why I'm a fan, and this is why I watch every fucking New Japan show that isn't a NJPW. I want to come in here and cover it because it's so nice to come in here and be so positive, because it does get draining being so negative Nelly all the time. But man, I just can't praise this enough. And people online, if you are like hating this, diminishes the value of the world title. He doesn't want the world title. That's so not fucking true. It's not only fighting for that belt. It's fighting so it can stay alive. Oh, it's just such. Oh, we couldn't have thought of that because that's just too fucking genius. Like, honestly, like I can't believe I went from, oh my fucking god, I can't believe I'm going to see Naito and Ibushi again, to, oh fuck yeah, Naito and Ibushi for the history of the IC title belt. And I want to see the IC title lineage video appear before the match begins, just to kind of give that buzz of, that IC title. Oh.
Exactly. And okay, as we record this, I'm looking at both of my replica IWGP and Intercontinental title belts, and like the mark that I am. But I'm looking at it. I'm just looking at the IC, but I'm like, no, I don't want that to get dissolved into the heavyweight title, man. Like, Shinsuke Nakamura made that belt mean something, and I think before it's said and done, Naito's probably going to be the greatest IC champion of all time. I already view him as that. I've already did, but I think he's going to be accepted as that as we go on, which is 100% fine. And another thing too about this whole double title thing, Naito said this after this week, but he's like, once I win the titles, my goal is to defend both of these belts separately. That was what he said that initially. That's what he said he wanted to do. Once the pandemic and everything happened, they had the New Japan Cup. They're like, we're going to make these for both the belts. Naito was like, well, actually before that, he defended both the belts against Kenta. And he said, well, I kind of don't want to defend both of the belts against Kenta. I feel like he should only get to choose one. And, he said, I'll defend the belts against him right here. But after this, I'll only want to defend one of the belts, per match. You got to challenge for one. You can't just get a double title match. He said he felt that that privilege was reserved for the guys who competed in that, pretty much that little 4-way tournament at Wrestle Kingdom 14, which is totally fair. I think, okay, that's fair.
It's completely fair. It's completely logical. It's absolutely brilliant. And what this is completely fancy booking. What if on the first Road to Castle Attack show we get announced of Kota Ibushi and fucking a tag partner? It doesn't matter who the fuck the tag partner is, against Shingo and Naito. You have Shingo pin Ibushi, and then you have Shingo stood above Ibushi holding up the world title, and you have Naito stood above Ibushi with the IC title. And then you could do Ibushi versus Naito on night 1 for the IC strap, and then Ibushi versus Shingo on night 2 for the world title. Because we talked about Shingo challenging, and let's face it, that the crowd's going to be there because of the fact, it's going to be a big draw, because the build-up is going to involve Naito. You can build up 2 matches now in all these 6 and 8-man tags with LIJ and Ibushi and team. Or they could do anyone challenging, but I hope they do a double title match. They do IC title night 1, world title night 2, or even better, do a world title match on night 1, have Ibushi lose the belt, and then on night 2, you've just got a straight fucking match where Ibushi could lose everything against Naito, and make that IC title mean something. But yeah, either way, they need a mid-card belt. They really, 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 really do.
And I think you're onto something too, because I think in the future here, because we were talking about the show the other day, I think the United States title is pretty much going to be a New Japan strong. I'm starting to feel like that's going to be like an exclusive. It's mainly going to be over here in the States. I'm starting to feel that way.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah, it should be like that. And if that's the case, then they kind of have to have the IC title, because I feel the never open weight, you could make that the second tier title, but I feel like that's more of that, brass knucks hardcore division style title. If you want to fight, then you go there. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where that's best suited. And then the third tier title is still good. It's still a damn good title. But we got to get Naito to get the Intercontinental title away from the villainous, the tyrannical Kota Ibushi, because he's become that right now. He thinks he's a god. So I mean,
Yeah, great. Everyone, go check out everything after intermission on this show. If you're stranded for time, check out everything after intermission, because that 6-man tag is nothing to be skipped. I promise you that. It's a very, very good match. Just overall, a great show. Great way to finish this tour. Minus Ibushi and Sanada's build, this has been a really, really fun tour.
It has, and it makes me that much more intrigued for that Castle Attack tour that we got coming up. And like I said, I think the first show is actually taking place Saturday. So,
it's the 14th, isn't it? It's the 14th. Sunday.
Yeah, that's Sunday. Well, Sunday, yeah. It's taking place on Sunday. How many do they got? Do they even have a card yet? Well, I don't ever trust New Japan, 1973.
I don't think they have a card up yet. I'll have a quick look, but I'll be very, very surprised if they do, because
they don't. I'm on it right now. They don't.
No, I'm glad they don't. I like the surprise when they do the reveal.
Yeah, it'll probably be up in a day or two, but hopefully they just kind of keep it quiet.
Absolutely good stuff. Great stuff. Oh, it's time to wrap this bad boy up. I would say get a live comments, but fucking YouTube pieces of dirt. Let's fucking wrap this bad boy up.
All right, man. We're on to the road to Castle Attack, man. If you had to ask me which night was better, night 1 or night 2, I kind of want to. The last 2 matches on night 2 were really damn good. I kind of want to almost edge to that one slightly. I might give it to night 2. But no, both these shows are really damn good. You got a lot of mixture of a lot of New Japan faces, man. Some of the people's favorites, some of the not so much favorites. Yeah, I thought this overall was a good show. You got Zack Sabre Jr. on commentary, and I hope they do kind of a revolving door of the English-speaking wrestlers on commentary. I think that might be pretty cool. So
I 100% agree with that. And just so everyone know, we'll be covering every single Castle Attack Road 2 and Castle Attack here on the channel. So subscribe on the channel, like, comment, do the damn business. Dion, it's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back on Sunday for some Castle Attack beautiful action.